Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. I am getting ready to go to church, but before I do, I want to put some stuff for lunch together to make our time faster when we get home. So one of the things I wanted to make is a salad of some sort for our, we're cooking on the Blackstone, so I wanted something else, something green, something refreshing. So I thought, well, I'll make a 7-layer salad. And then I thought, well, that's kind of silly. Why can't I make a 10-layer salad or a 12-layer salad, putting all the things that I really enjoy into a salad? So that's what I'm going to do. So I have my lettuce, and I'm using a whole head of lettuce and 8 ounces of fresh baby spinach. So I have a layer of lettuce and then a layer of the spinach in my dish. Then I'll go ahead and make my dressing for this before I go ahead and do the other layers. So I have 1 cup of mayo in my bowl, and I'm going to put a half a cup of sour cream in with it. And then I'm also going to stir in a tablespoon of sugar to 2 tablespoons. It just depends on how much you like. So we're going to eyeball this. A couple tablespoons for me. And then about a teaspoon of salt. And that's all that goes in the dressing that goes over this. So I'll mix those together. And I'm being brave. I've got my black shirt on for church, and I'm not wearing an apron, so we'll see how that goes for the morning. So our next layer after this comes some red pepper that I've diced pretty small, because some of our family doesn't care a whole lot for peppers, and they don't mind it so much if they're small. And then I have some celery that I diced up. Do about half of that. And I like cucumbers, but so many of my family do not like cucumbers. So I would love to put cucumbers in my salad, but it's not going because they don't like it. Then I have some cherry tomatoes that I cut up. You want to at least half them. If you don't, if they're very big, you might want to quarter them. Okay. And then I have a cup of frozen peas that I thawed out earlier. And the nice thing about this is, like I said, I can make it before church. And then when we come home, while I'm busy with the Blackstone items and that, I don't have to be messing with my salad. Okay. And then I have a little bit of red onion, and you can go heavier on the onion if you like to. And that's assuming I can get the lid off. I don't want to touch it because onion flavors and smells seem to stick to my hands, and I've tried a lot of the tricks that they recommend, and none of them seem to work for me. Okay. And then I want to put on some Colby Jack cheese, and I'm going to put about half of my cheese on it, and it calls for, the recipe I have calls for 1.5 cups, but this package is 1 3/4 cups, so that's what's going on. Because cheese is always good. And then I fried up some bacon and crumbled it. If I can get the lid off that one as well. I'm going to put a layer of that on, because bacon also makes everything better. Okay. And my next layer, I cooked some eggs and sliced those up, so I want a layer of those. And last, but certainly not least, I'm going to put on a thin layer of the dressing. I want to save most of it for the top. But it helps to have just a thin layer in the middle. Then all I have to do is repeat. I have more lettuce and more baby spinach. I like it when you get baby spinach that has the long stems on it, because they're kind of tough. So I usually try to break some of those off. But okay. And then back to my peppers. Save a few of those for later. Use that for my trash. My celery. Don't you think cucumber would be great in this? More tomato. It's a very colorful salad. I don't know what you would rather like to have as one of your extra layers. Is there something you would put in? Peas go in next. And a little more red onion. Gonna have to touch it, I guess. Save my cheese. The rest of my bacon. The rest of my egg. And then I'll put the rest of my cheese, and finally my dressing again. We'll go over the top. Then I'm going to cover this. You could serve it immediately, but I'm going to cover mine and refrigerate it, and then it'll be ready for when we're ready for lunch. So there we have our multi-layer, 10-layer adaptation of a 7-layer salad. Put my dressing on the top, and then I'll be done. Hello, welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. We just got back from a ball game that got rained out, so I'm throwing together a quick supper, and I did some of this earlier, but I already cooked 10 ounces of egg noodles, and they're draining. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of butter and add about 1/4 of an onion. You can add just a little more if you want to. And I'm going to saute that in the butter along with some garlic, about 2 cloves. And then about 1½ cups of frozen carrots and peas. And I just want to saute these until those onions are a little more translucent. Very colorful. Okay, when this gets done, I'm going to go ahead and with that butter and everything, I will add 2 tablespoons of flour to make my roux, to help make my sauce. So I want to cook that first. So I will come back when those onions are a little more translucent. All right, let's add in our 2 tablespoons of flour. And if you like chicken pot pie, this might be an alternative. It kind of reminds me of when you make chicken helper or tuna helper, those kinds of things, because it's so easy. And I just want that to cook just a minute so that it doesn't taste that flour taste when you make a roux. And then I'm going to pour in 1 cup of chicken broth and 1 cup of heavy cream to make our sauce. Cream. Turn my heat down just a little. Okay. So I want to bring that up to a boil and then drop it down to a simmer and let it simmer about 5 minutes before I add anything else. So once it hits a boil, we'll drop the heat even more and bring it to a simmer. So our sauce is thickened up really nicely after that time of simmering. So now I want to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And up to 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Earlier today, I had some chicken that I needed to use up, so I went ahead and cooked that up and cut it up. And so I have about 1.5 cups of cubed up chicken that's already cooked that I'm going to put in. If you have rotisserie chicken, that would work as well. There's a little piece of fat on that piece of chicken. Stir that in. And then as soon as that gets warm, because I had mine in the refrigerator, if your chicken isn't cooled, then you wouldn't have to wait. But the only other thing I have left to put in are my noodles that I cooked. So I have my 10 ounces of cooked egg noodles that go in. And that will make our chicken pot pie noodle casserole. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.